Hi, Year 5. So, this is take 2, actually, if I'm being completely honest, because I did the first video and it was nearly like 8 minutes long, and then I noticed, after I played it back, that I got a major spelling error on one of the homophones, and I had to retype it, print it, and then re-record the whole thing. So never mind, these things happen, okay? Even teachers make mistakes, you know. Not very often, but it does happen. Okay, so here we go. All right, so lesson 3. Now, these are some Year 5 homophones now, okay? So these are a little bit more tricky. These are more difficult than your theirs, and there. And your two, and two, and by, and which, like I went through in lesson 1. Those are really ones you should know by now. These are Year 5 ones that we really need to get, okay? So, if you look at the skill at the top, it's I distinguish between homophones and other words which are often confused. Now, the other words which are often confused are words which have a slight difference in spelling and maybe a slight difference in pronunciation and do get confused. Like in the last lesson, it would be device and devise. There's only one letter difference in spelling, a slight difference in pronunciation, very easily confused between them. I showed you another one of lesson 1, which was were and we're. You know, were meaning you were, and we're meaning we are, the contraction of we are. They often get confused. So it's words like that. So we're going to go through these homophones now that the sheet's corrected, and we're going to talk about the differences in the spelling and look at them in context, and then you will put these into sentences like you've been doing this week. So the first one is guessed and guessed. Guessed with a double S-E-D ending, okay, that's your verb. So I guessed it. It's to guess in the past tense, okay? I guessed it. This one with the T, G-U-E-S-T, guessed, that's guest in a hotel or a guest that you're having round for a meal, for example. Moving on to cereal and cereal. So cereal, the first one here with the S-E-R-I-A-L spelling, okay, is like a serial number, a serial killer, serial publication, okay, and serial publication is like a TV series. So that's the word serial there, okay. I think I just knocked the camera slightly, the phone rather. Okay, then the next one is cereal, meaning here the type of cereal you eat for breakfast. Okay, so that's the two different cereals. Have a look at the sheet, cereal and cereal. Okay, moving on then to bridle and bridle. You've got bridle with an AL ending. Now that's like bridal meaning for a bride. So a bridal shop, meaning things for brides. You'll have, well, I've never actually been in a bridal shop, if I'm honest. But I've looked through windows of one and they have like dresses and other stuff that brides wear. Okay, so moving on from that. Bridal, so to do with brides, okay, bridal shop. Then bridle with an I-D-L-E here. Now that's the type of bridle that a horse wears over their head, okay? So that kind of bridle that the reins are attached to. All right, so that's your bridle. Bridal shop for a bride stuff. Okay, boys, you don't worry about that. And then bridle, all right? A bridle that a horse wears. Right, then we move to altar and altar, okay? Church altar, so that's the altar at the front of the church, and alter something, meaning to change something, okay? So that's your altar and altar. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to read them through again, then pause the video and you do your sentences, okay? With the spellings, make sure they're spelt the right way, used in the right context. So we've got guest and guest, cereal, cereal, what's the next one? Bridle, bridle, and altar, altar, okay? Now coming on to sheet 2. All right, so we've now got desert and dessert. Now these words, technically, they look like they're homophones, but actually there is a difference in pronunciation. Well, there is with a Welsh accent anyway. I don't know about the rest of you. So I would say desert for that one. And then this one I'd pronounce dessert. So there's a slight difference. So desert, Sahara Desert, for example. And then dessert, meaning dessert after a meal. Okay. The next one is draft and draft. Now the first type of draft here, that's your first draft, then your second draft when you're writing a story or something like that, okay? Then this type of draft here, draft, that one, that's when you feel a cool draft, like a breeze, okay? That kind of draft. I feel a draft, okay? This next one, you've got stationary and stationary. The first one with the, what is the difference now? Oh yes, the ARY and the ERY. So the ARY ending is stationary, meaning still, meaning not moving. So the car was stationary at the red traffic light, okay? Then stationary, meaning with the ERY, is when you need to go to like a shop to buy things like stationery, pencils, pens, that kind of thing. So you've got stationary and stationary. Then we've got principle and principle. Okay, so we've got principle, like the principal idea, that like the main idea. So that principle there would be like the main, another word for main. Not a mane of a lion, that's different. The principal of a school. All right, so in America, for instance, in the United States, they often say principal for the head teacher of a school. So they would spell it that way. And then you've got a principle of life, meaning like a truth to live by. All right, so that's the other type of principle. Okay, so I'm going to go through them again, and then you can pause the video and do some sentences. Okay, you could pause it after each one, couldn't you? So we've got desert and dessert, draft and draft, stationary, stationary. You probably can't see this, can you? Lift up. And principle and principle. Okay, so they're some of the homophones for you to practice. They are important ones, and obviously this gives you an idea of the kind of homophones. This isn't all of them. Okay, this isn't it for year 5 homophones. Okay. This is just a tiny amount because there are hundreds of homophones in English, and we need to make sure that in year 5 we're making a conscious effort to know which ones are homophones. So when you write, you're thinking, oh, draft, that is a homophone. Am I using the right one? Then you might think, oh, desert, that is a homophone. Am I spelling it with one S or am I spelling it with 2 S's? Which one is right? Or you might be writing there and you're thinking to yourself as you're writing it, which there is it? Am I writing it right? I'll tell you another one, here and here. That's an easy one to get confused, here and here. H-E-A-R is to do with hearing. So clue is it's got an ear on the end of it. H-E-A-R, here. Okay, whereas H-E-R-E is here, meaning it's here with me. So that's another one that children often get confused. There's lots of these in English, unfortunately. And really, you do have to make a conscious effort in your writing to try to make sure that you are using the right ones. Okay? So practice. Now, next lesson, I'll be giving you a task, a longer task, rather than just writing sentences. There'll be a writing task, which will probably be over 2 days. But the focus will be homophones, okay? Checking homophones are correct in that piece of writing. All right, so I'll leave you get on with these sentences now. I'll see you next lesson. Bye.